Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference to preview our game against Sunderland. We'll start off with Vinny at Sky.
David, obviously we've seen the statement from the club about the appeal against Michael Keane sending off the other night. What's your reaction to the fact that it has been rejected?
I'm hugely disappointed, hugely surprised, probably more angry with the panel who chose that they thought that was the case, because it's a panel which sits and does it and looks at it, and I have to question the three of them, and I know who the three of them are on the panel, and I'm absolutely amazed that they didn't in some way overturn it. But to say it's violent conduct, we've just seen a game last night where it's okay to throw a ball at somebody, it's okay to probably push them and lift them up and pick them up, maybe with a bad injury, but you know, have a little pull of somebody's hair accidentally means that would be a three game ban. It's quite extraordinary for me.
Not just that as well, you talk about it being termed violent conduct, but there's also the severity of the punishment as well, the fact that Michael Keane will have to serve a 3-game ban.
Well, that's what I've said. I say it's 3 games for it shouldn't have even been any games. But I'm more embarrassed for whoever was on VAR. This was a young referee doing only his 3rd or 4th game, and VAR gave him a terrible decision. VAR didn't need to get involved in that at all. So I'm more embarrassed for whoever it was at VAR who done it. You know, looking for the smallest things they are, and probably things which I don't think MD would have really paid any interest in any ways.
It was Chris Kavanagh on VAR. Hwang
I know.
made a challenge on Harrison Armstrong. When you compare the two situations, what do you make of the fact that there was no intervention with the Hwang challenge?
Well, it sounds like
Harrison
what Michael Keane done was a 3-game ban and a sending off, but the tackle was a nothing in the game and not recognised either by VAR or the referee, and nothing was given for it. So it sounds as if they've got all their things in the wrong places at the moment.
Looking at that challenge though, David, and looking at other decisions through the season, are you feeling hard done by at the moment? Because I go back to the fact that we saw Newcastle given a penalty. It was a similar incident to Tyler Dibling's shot against Burnley that seemed to be handled in the box. Obviously, you didn't get a penalty on that occasion. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall was punished with a penalty earlier this season as well for a handball in a similar situation. We've seen other players sarcastically clap a referee and not get booked. Obviously, Jack Grealish did get booked the other night, albeit you admitted that you felt he deserved the red card in the end. But when you're seeing decisions and inconsistencies like that, is that where you're feeling hard done by?
Well, I didn't want to discuss any of the others because they've all gone in the past, but now you bring them up, it makes me think that, hey, by the way, maybe there has been a few more than it should have gone against us. But the recent ones are hard to take, we think. And by the way, the first person I'd admit it if I thought it was, I thought Jack Grealish was wrong. But you're right, since then I've been showing other players who've clapped the referee and it's not returned in another booking or a sending off, for example. We've seen handballs. We've had quite a few against us. We've seen handballs that we've not been given as well. So now you mention it, yeah, I think there has been a few.
You also had an admission that you should have had a penalty against Arsenal as well. I think we asked you at that point, do you need to speak to the PGMOL? Is there any further thought now that actually we need to make representations?
I don't even know what else you would do, but I can only say what I think. I can't talk too much, or they would be fining me for doing something or saying something out of order. But if they want us to come on your programmes and talk, then surely we should be allowed to speak the truth and how we feel. And that's what I think. Yeah.
It seems like you do have big concerns over the inconsistencies over a period of time now.
It sounds like inconsistencies, but I've not got a big problem with it because I just want them to do their job the best they can. But if that's the best they can do at the moment, then I think they're in a difficult position.
Obviously, the 2 red cards the other night as well leave you even more short of players. So I wonder how difficult it is a task to come up with a game plan now, because in essence, I suppose at times you'll be considering having to play players out of position just to be able to put an 11 out on the pitch.
Yeah, but no, look, in some occasions we have to blame ourselves. It's not everybody else's fault for it. You know, we've also got our own injuries. We've got people at AFCON. We've we get players sent off who shouldn't have got sent off. So we're not here blaming everybody else. We get ready for another game. We get the players prepared and ready to play.
Any chance of anyone back? Thinking Kane and maybe Charlie Alcaraz?
No, none of those players are available.
And how far away, Jared?
As I said, Jared's back on the grass, going well, so hopefully he's not too far away.
Looking ahead to the game, though, obviously FA Cup brings back memories of yourself in taking the team to Wembley in 2009, also the semi-final in 2012 as well. What would a good cup run do for this place right now? Well,
a good cup run for any club, and it's a question which gets asked to all the managers, and we're all going to say the same thing. There's nobody who doesn't want a good cup run. There's nobody who doesn't want to win the FA Cup final, but it's a harder thing to do. So we start tomorrow, and hopefully we can have a good go at it.
What does the competition mean to you, though, David?
Well, I think it's a big thing for the support. I think if you follow English football, the cup competition has always been really something which everybody's been hugely interested in. From years gone back, watching it on a Saturday, when it was on, etc. All the things would come from it. So I think we all want a good run in the cup.
What was experience like, particularly 2009, and remember the semi-final victory on penalties as well?
Well, brilliant memories of it, and we still have the memories, and it still have the memories of the defeat as well, because we lost in the final. When we were desperate to try and win, but I think we'd like to try and get another run if we could do.
Not too many more difficult draws than this one, though, I suppose, given the way Sunderland have gone this season in the third round tonight.
No, look, Sunderland have done really well, and I don't think everybody would tell the Premier League clubs you're probably hoping not to draw another Premier League club, but it's part of it, and you have to take it. The fortunate thing for us, we've got home tie. That's the big thing.
Thanks, David. Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Finny. We'll go to Julia at Radio Merseyside.
Hi, David. Given that the even lower numbers now that we keep talking about, and even lower now with the 2 red cards, you couldn't make changes till 87 minutes against Wolves. They could change things from half-time onwards. Is this making this particularly difficult if you want to change a game now?
Mm-hmm. No, we could have made changes earlier. We had Merlin Rowe on the bench, Tyler Dibbling, one or two others who we could have changed. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. We could have made changes. We didn't think we were winning 1-0 at half time, so there was no need to make changes at the time. And I didn't think we'd played particularly well, but we had got ourselves in front, and I didn't think Wolves had caused us huge problems in the first half that we needed to do anything. But as the game went on, we were about to bring Beto on to play up front with Barry in the closing stages. But when the first sending off came, that sort of stumped everything, and we had to reassess what we were going to do.
I know Jordan Pickford will probably want to play in this game. He wasn't in the League Cup games. I assume that is he a keeper that you would want to play in the FA Cup to get a run going?
Of course we do. We've also got other players who want to play as well, but Jordan's been the number one goalkeeper here, and made an outstanding save the other night for us. So we hope he's fit and available to play.
How wearing is this on the players at the moment? Because you say, obviously we've got the statement here. Mm-hmm. You're clearly disappointed with this. How's Michael Keane taking it, for example?
Well, I think Michael's sort of disciplinary career, I'll call it, has also been exempt, really. Yeah, he's a centre half. You could always maybe get yellow cards, etc. But I think overall, I don't think any of the thing which has come out about him pulling the hair is right in his character. So we're surprised, but it looks like they've not taken any of that into consideration. They've just stuck to our rule, and we've had to abide by it.
With him being out for 3 games, I know you said last week it was unlikely, or maybe likely in January transfers. Does this change any of your plans now for January?
Yeah, it does a little bit, because obviously we're a few more players down again, and but again, we're out looking, which means that we're trying, but there's a good chance that that trying doesn't get to anything. So we'll need to wait and see.
Why is that then? Because I think people will always say, why can't those targets be achieved? Could you lift the lid on that?
But probably more to do with availability.
Thank you. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Julia. Any further questions in the open section before we move on? Will?
Hi, David.
Hi.
Just on the other night, Tyrone Boone has a really good performance, especially in the first half. Are you looking for him to really find consistency now on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tim's improving. I think he still needs to have consistency in his all-round game. Really, I think he has moments where he's very exciting and looks good, and then there'll be other moments where he doesn't do quite so well. But he's relative young midfield player still, and still getting used to playing more Premier League games. He's beginning to get over the thing about having to probably drop out after 60 minutes in some of the games. He's beginning to look as if he can get closer to 90 in most of them. So that's a step up for him as well.
With Michael Keane out, is this a big chance for Nathan Patterson now? I think he's been at the club for 4 years. It's been very stuttering. Is this the time for him to really prove himself now?
Well, I'm not going to mention who I'm going to play or what I'm going to do or who he's going to be. So I think it's a chance for whoever gets the opportunity to play.
And just in January, I mean, when you come back to it, would you only want to bring players in pretty much who can make an impact now, rather than bringing in players that maybe you want to develop?
The big thing about January is you can bring players in to fill and patch up, but really you'd rather wait and maybe keep your money, save your money up, where you can make the buys at a time of the year where you think you've got a little bit more time to do it. Other things come into it, you probably get your budget more then than what you have now. So there's always there's reasons sometimes for it, and you can go and you can try and get a short-term fix maybe to come in. Sometimes clubs need short-term fixes. I don't think MD wants to work like that. I think everybody wants to try and buy a player who they think was going to be with them for long period. I think January's never that easy a time, and I think you can tell. I think all the media will be asking the same questions at every other club, and there's not too many clubs at the moment. Maybe by the end of the window you will do, but I don't think there's too many clubs at the moment looks if they're out there really investing in new players.
Thanks, Will. Thanks very much. We'll move on to the embargo section.
Cheers, thank you.